Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannathai, Baladevai, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Bhat Paramams Parjacharya Stotars, His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta, Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrind ki. All glories to assembled devotees, all glory to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nasta Prayashva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishteki. So we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 15, Bali Maharaj Conquers the Heavenly Planets, verse 29. Ojasvinam balim jetum na samartho asti kaschana bhavadvidu bhavan vapi varjayiteshva ishvaram harim vijeshyati na koapi enam brahmateja sameditam nasya saktha paraha puraha statum kritnat kirtantasya yatha jana ojasvinam balim jetum na samartho asti kaschana bhavadvidho bhavan vapi varjatishva ishvaram harim vijeshyati na koapi enam brahmateja samedhitam nasya saktha puraha statum kirtantasya yatha jana. Prabhuji. Yes, please. Please continue. Yeshatina kopienam Samateja sameditam Asya sakta puhastatum Kritantasya yatha jana Ojasvinam balim jetum na samartosti kaschana bhavadvido bhavan vapi varjayiteshvaram harim vijayashatina kopi enam brahmateja sameditam Nashasakta pura statum Kritantasya yatha jana. Matajis. Ojasvinam balim jetum No samarto asti kaschana Ojasvinam balim jetum Nasamarto asti kaschana Bhavatvido bhavan vapi Vachatishvesharam harim Vijasyati na kopinam Brahmatejas meditam Sasakta purastatam Kritantasya yatha jana Ojasvinam balim jetum Na samarta asti kaschana Bhavadvido bhavan vapi jaishyati na kopi. Brahma teja samheditam nasa sakta puhastatum kritantasya yatha jana. Ojasvinam, so powerful, Bali Maharaj, Jetum, to conquer, Na, not, Samartha, able, Asti, is, Kaschana, anyone, Bhavat Vidha, like you, Bhavan, you yourself, Va api, either, Varjita, accepting, Ishwaram, the Supreme Controller, Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vijashyati, will conquer, Na, not, Kahapi, anyone, Enam, him, Bali Maharaj, Brahma Teja Sameditam, now empowered with Brahma Tejas, extraordinary spiritual power, Na, not, Ashya, of him, Sakta, is able, Pura, in front, Sthatum, to stay, Kritantasya, of Yamraj, Yatha, as, Janha, people. Translation. Neither you nor your men can conquer the most powerful Bali. Indeed, no one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can conquer him, for he is now equipped with the supreme spiritual power, Brahma, Tejas. As no one can stand before Yamraj, no one can now stand before Bali Maharaj. Since there is no purport, we'll continue to next verse and one more. So 8:15:30. Tasman nilhayam utsrijya yuyam sarvetri vishtapam yatha kalam pratikshanto yatha satrur viparyaya. Therefore, waiting until the situation of your enemies is reversed, you should all leave this heavenly planet and go elsewhere, where you will not be seen. 31. Esa vipra balodarkha samprathya urjita vikrama tesam eva pamanaina sanubandho vinakshati. Bali Maharaj has now become extremely powerful because of the benediction given to him by the Brahmanas. But when he later insults the Brahmanas, he will be vanquished along with his friends and assistants. Purport. Bali Maharaj and Indra were enemies. Therefore, when Brahaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, predicted that Bali Maharaj would be vanquished when he insulted the Brahmanas, by whose grace he had become so powerful, Bali Maharaj's enemies were naturally anxious to know when that opportune moment would come. To pacify King Indra, Brahaspati assured him that the time would certainly come, for Brahaspati could see that in the future Bali Maharaj would defy the orders of Śrīmad in order to pacify Lord Vishnu, Vamanadev. Of course, to advance in Krishna consciousness, one can take all risks. To please Vamanadev, Bali Maharaj risking defying the orders of his spiritual master Śrīmad. Because of this, he would lose all his property, yet because of devotional service to the Lord, he would get more than he expected. And in the future, in the 8th Manvantara, he would occupy the throne of Indra again. Om Agnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurue Namaha. Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamam Didati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaragunatam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarobhesha kripa sindhu bhavecha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, we are reading 8th canto, which is Manvantara, one of the changes of the Manu. And this pastime has been going on since, I think, chapter 5 onwards, where we finished the first, second, third, fourth, we heard about Gajendra Moksha pastime. And then 5th onwards, we have been hearing how Indra had offended Durvasa Muni and fell down. And it's interesting, this is going on for the, now what we are hearing is not of 4th or 6th Manvantara, which was the pastime of Durvasa Muni and Indra, where Indra offended Durvasa Muni. That was in 6th Manvantara. But this is going on in which Manvantara? Anyone is up to date with where Bhagavatam is? Sorry? 8th? 7th? Vaivasvata Manu. So it's interesting, this pastime is going on where Bali Maharaj has attacked the Indra Loka, heavenly planets. And in the 4th Manu we heard, or 6th Manu we heard how Durvasa Muni was passing by and he saw Indra on the back of his elephant. And he was very pleased with Indra, so he offered him his garland. But Indra was very puffed up, as it is mentioned in that pastime, that because of him being too puffed up, because of his opulence, his power, he gave that garland to his elephant, put it on the trunk of his elephant. So in that pastime it is mentioned, there are 3 things which bewilders a man: woman, wealth, and wine. And of which, and this is same for woman, man can bewilder a woman. So 3 things, 3 W's, woman, wealth, and wine can bewilder a man. And of these 3, the most intoxicating is not woman, not wine, wealth. So wealth is the most intoxicating. It can bewilder anyone, even a personality like Indra, who is the king of heaven. He is like he's been given that post because he is one of the devotees of the Lord. But even a great devotee can become bewildered by the opulence. So here we see he was too puffed up and he gave the garland which Durvasa Muni gave to his elephant. An elephant, because he is an elephant, he is just an animal. He crushed that garland under his feet. And because of that, Durvasa Muni became very angry. And he cursed Indra that he will be bereft of all his material opulence. So we see in this pastime it is mentioned Bali Maharaj, and then there is the whole pastime of Samudra Manthana which is happening because Indra loses all his opulence and they go to Brahma and Brahma advises them to go to Lord Vishnu and Lord Vishnu advises them to make truce with the demons. And here we see these demons and Bali Maharaj being the head of demons are so powerful that they are able to conquer Indra and all the demigods who are supposed to be the devotees under the protection of the Lord. So how is it possible that even the demons are becoming so powerful? And it is mentioned because of Brahma Tejas. It is mentioned in the verse because of Brahma Tejas. And what is this Brahma Tejas? When one pleases the Brahmana, then he gets blessings from the Brahmanas. And when one is under the shelter of the Brahmanas, blessed by the Brahmanas, he gets this Brahma Tejas, which even enables him to become more powerful than the devotees, demigods. Whereas in the pastime of Indra we saw, he displeased a Brahmana, Durvasa Muni, and that is why he had to fall down. So in that pastime again it is mentioned, here it is saying that Brahaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, is saying that at this stage, Bali Maharaj is so powerful that neither you nor your man can conquer Bali, who is so powerful, and no one but Supreme Personality of Godhead can conquer him. So Brahaspati, as Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, can see what's going to happen in the future. So Bali Maharaj was so powerful that he could only be conquered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he told that he will at one stage, because right now he has been under the shelter of Brahmanas, he has got the blessings of the Brahmanas, he is not going to be defeated. But at one stage, he will offend the Brahmana. He will offend his Guru, Śrīmad, and at that stage, you will be able to conquer him. He will not be under the shelter of the Brahmanas, and you can conquer him. And so he is saying, Brahaspati is saying, he is now equipped with supreme spiritual power, Brahma Tejas, as no one can stand before Yamraj, no one can now stand before Bali Maharaj. So he is as powerful as Yamraj at the moment. We know in the pastime of Savitri and Satyavan, like it is mentioned, Savitri was the only person who is mentioned in history who could defeat Yamraj and bring back Satyavan, her husband, from the clutches of Yamraj. But this is only the exceptional case. But usually Yamraj, it is very difficult. Any other pastime which comes in Bhagavatam where one is saved from the clutches of Yamraj? Yeah, the sons of Sandipani Muni, which comes under 11th canto, where Krishna brings back the sons of Sandipani, the Sadgarbhas, brings back the sons of Sandipani Muni from Varuna Dev. They had been transferred to Varuna Dev. They had already been killed by Kamsa. And then Krishna brings them back. Any other example which is directly coming in 6th canto? I'll give you a hint. Sorry? You mentioned something? Oh, okay. No one. Ajamil. Yeah, Ajamil pastime. So, Ajamil was about to die, and in the last moment, he called out. He saw the Yamdutas, and he called out the names of. So he called out the name of his son Narayan, and because of his remembering the unconsciously also chanting the names of the holy names of the Lord, he was saved from the clutches of Yamadutas, Yamraj. So otherwise it is not possible. By his own strength, one cannot be saved from the hands of Yamraj. So as Brahaspati is mentioning here, that Bali Maharaj is so powerful at this point that no one except for the Supreme Lord can kill him. He is as powerful as Yamraj. And then he is saying, therefore wait until the situation of your enemy is reversed. So sometimes it is good to accept a defeat or run away from the battlefield. We know the pastime where Krishna also ran away from the battlefield. Not that he couldn't defeat. Who was he fighting with? Jarasandha. So, how many times did he defeat Jarasandha before? Yeah, so 17 times, right? He defeated Jarasandha, but then on the 18th time, he ran away from the battlefield, and for that he is glorified. He is called Ranachod. There is a temple of Ranachod Rai. So, but Brahaspati here is saying, yes, you need to run away because your enemy is so powerful. You cannot fight him at this point. And you have to wait until the proper opportunity comes where you can defeat Bali Maharaj. So then he is mentioning in verse 31, which we read today. That Bali Maharaj has now become extremely powerful because of the benediction given to him by the Brahmanas, Sukracharya especially. But when he later insults a Brahmana, he will be vanquished along with his friends and assistants. So in Nectar of Devotion, in 17th chapter, it is mentioned. Anyone knows the name of 17th chapter? What does it speak about? 17 and 18? Nectar of Devotion. They speak about bhava. So aesthetic love. So in that it is mentioned there are 3 ways one can attain perfection. So the first is Nitya Siddha. They are already perfect. They don't fall down into the material world. They are already perfect. There are 3 kinds of devotees. Nitya Siddha devotees, Sadhana Siddha devotees, and Kripa Siddha devotees. So Nitya Siddha devotees are already perfect. They never fall down into the material. Sadhana Siddha devotees are the ones who perfect by the practice of devotional service. And Kripa Siddha devotees are the one who perfect their life by the mercy of Krishna and his devotees. So in that chapter it is mentioned, it is very rare that mercy happens automatically. One has to work for it. One has to practice sadhana. But if it has to happen, there are 3 ways it can happen. It can happen by simply speaking to a devotee. Simply by speaking to a devotee, one can get the blessings of a devotee and he can become perfect. If you are speaking to a pure devotee, automatically you will get mercy flowing through the devotee. And you can become perfect. Or simply by the glance of a pure devotee. If a pure devotee just glances on you, favorable glance of a pure devotee, you can become perfect. Kripa Siddha, you can get the mercy of the Lord. And the third is simply by good wishes of a pure devotee. And there are many examples we have seen. There was no qualification of devotees. Many of the devotees, we know when Srila Prabhupada just met them for one time, or they just had seen Srila Prabhupada, or Srila Prabhupada had seen them, and they became devotees. So, as it is mentioned, the Kripa Siddha devotees, or the mercy of Krishna flows through his pure devotees, simply by speaking to a devotee, by his glance, or by the good wishes of a devotee. So as is mentioned here, because Bali Maharaj had the blessings of Sukracharya, he was invincible. Nobody was able to defeat him. But when that same Brahmana has got and this is true in the opposite sense as well, as we heard. If a devotee sees you favorably, you can get mercy of Krishna. But at the same time, if a devotee sees you unfavorably, if he curses you or he is angered by you, then you can get a ill effect also. You can lose your bhakti. So here Brahaspati is mentioning that there will be a time where Bali Maharaj will offend his guru, Sukracharya, and you have to wait for that time. So there is another story in it comes in Mahabharata of Aruni. Whenever we hear this pastime of Guru being pleased, we remember of this story, Aruni, where Aruni was a small boy in a Gurukul, and he was not very intelligent, so he couldn't recite all the Vedic mantras and participate in all the yagnas and things. So he was given to manage the field, the farming land, so that he used to look after the farm and manage the field. So because he was not so intelligent, so one day there was heavy rains, and Aruni did not come back home. So next morning, everyone, all the guru and the disciples went to see where Aruni was, because he never came. He did not come back the night before, and they saw that in their field there was a fence which was stopping the water from coming into the field. So canal was made, and the wall of that canal was broken, and Aruni was staying whole night against that canal to protect the field so that the water does not come into the field. And then the guru and the disciples went and fixed the wall of the canal, and then the guru blessed Aruni, and he said, "You will be known throughout the history for your devotional attitude to the Guru, because you protected the fence. So this is an example. And he said, you will know the entire Vedas. And he is regarded, that is why the Aruni's story is coming in Mahabharata as being one of the greatest devotional attitude towards his Guru. So these are the examples which are given, how if one serves his Guru, if he pleases his Guru, then he becomes very powerful. And today is the disappearance day of Bhugarbha Goswami and Kashishvara Pandit. So we will hear a few minutes about them. So again, both personalities are an example of surrender to their spiritual master. So Bhugarbha Goswami was an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was a very good friend of Lokanath Goswami. So Bhugarbha Goswami and Lokanath Goswami used to travel together to Vrindavan and used to excavate the places, different forests. Even before Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami went to Vrindavan, it was Lokanath Swami and Bhugarbha Goswami. They went to Vrindavan, and at that point, even the forest of Vrindavan were not known. So both Lokanath Goswami and Bhugarbha Goswami used to shout the names of forest, Vrindavan, Talavan, Kamevan. So they used to go and shout the names of the forest, 12 forests of Vrindavan. And then Vrinda Devi appeared and showed them, revealed to them which forests were there. And this is how we know. But they were so shy of revealing their names. So they requested Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that please do not mention about us in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we don't hear much we don't hear directly their pastimes anywhere, but they have been mentioned indirectly at many of the places. So it is mentioned Lokanath Goswami and Bhugarbha Goswami were two body, one heart, one soul. So they always traveled together. They were very intimate friends. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami only mentions this, that 11th branch of Gadadhar, Bhugarbha Goswami was the disciple of Gadadhar Pandit. So the 11th branch of Gadadhar Goswami was Bhugarbha Goswami, and the 12th was Bhagavad Das. So even Bhagavad Das was an associate of Bhugarbha Goswami. And both of them went to Vrindavan and resided there for life. And Kavi Karnapur mentioned in Gauragunadesh Dipika that Bhugarbha Goswami is none other than Prema Manjari in Vrindavan. So, and one more thing, it is mentioned that Bhugarbha Goswami got his name Bhugarbha because he was always staying under the earth and doing his bhajan. So he used to go under the cave, inside, under the earth, and do his bhajan. That is why Bhugarbha. Bhu means earth, and Garbha means going underground. And so he used to do his bhajan underground. So he's got this name, Bhugarbha Goswami. Yeah, and his samadhi is next to Rupa Goswami in Radha Damodar Mandir. So this is about Bhugarbha Goswami. Bhugarbha Goswami ki jai. And Kashishvara Pandit. So again, Kashishvara Pandit, whose disappearance is also today, he was also he was a disciple of Ishwarapuri. So Kashishvara Pandit was a disciple of Ishwarapuri. So in one sense, he is the god brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also a disciple of Ishwara Puri. So, Kashishwara Pandit and Govinda, these two were serving Ishwara Puri. And then when Ishwara Puri passed away, he asked Kashishwara Pandit and Govinda to go and serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Kashishwara Pandit is coming from a very rich family. It is mentioned the place where he is coming from, that whole estate, he was a Chaudhary. Chaudhary means they were landlords. So the whole area was known as Chaudhary Talas, Chaudhary Pariya. So that is, the whole village was named after them. So that kind of aristocratic family he is coming from. But they were serving Ishwar Puri, and after his death they came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, how can I take service from you both? You both are my god brothers. You have served my spiritual master, so I cannot take any service from you. So I cannot accept you as my disciple. So, but again, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya mentioned that you should take service from them for two reasons. The first reason is, he gives an example that Parshuram killed his mother on the order of his father. So generally one does not kill his mother, right? It is prohibited. One should not kill your mother. But Parshuram killed his mother on the order of his father. And Lakshman obeyed the order of all the orders of Lord Ram without questioning him, because he was his superior. So you should also accept the order of Ishwara Puri, who is your spiritual master, and Ishwara Puri has asked them to serve you, be under your shelter. So you should accept Kashishwara and Govinda as your disciples, as you can, then you can serve him. You can accept their service. And after these two examples of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Lord Chaitanya accept them in his service. So it is mentioned that Kashishwara was very powerful. Kashishwara and Govinda were very powerful. The bodily strength, they were very huge and powerful. So it is mentioned when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance in Rath Yatra, there used to be multiple circles. The inner circle was of all the close associates like Nityanand Prabhu and other devotees were in the innermost circle. The second circle was of Kashishwara, Mukunda and others. And the third circle was of King Prataprudra and all the other associates. So what was the duty of the inner circle, Nityanand Prabhu and all the other close associates? They used to help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his singing and dancing in Kirtan. The second circle's duty was to protect anyone to come inside. So this was headed by Kashishwara, because he was so strong that nobody could come closer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu if he was around. So, and after that, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after the Kirtan, used to go inside the temple room, Kashishwara used to lead, make way for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he always used to protect Kashishwara, and Govinda used to carry the water pot behind Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this was the service Kashishwara and Govinda performed for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was also in charge, Kashishwara Pandit was also in charge for distributing all the Mahaprasad. One needs to be very strong to distribute Mahaprasad, especially in Jagannath Puri. So it is mentioned he was present in all the kirtans which happened at Srivasangan, and he was also present when Advaita Acharya first met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can understand Kashishwara Pandit also is one of the intimate devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are not ordinary devotees, they are very great associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Kashishwara Pandit ki jai. So I'll stop here. If there are any questions or comments, corrections, please.
You were speaking about the principle of disrespecting a devotee. And at least in this example, in relation to Bali Maharaj and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam wasn't a very elevated person. He was actually quite a materialistic person. So, the Acharyas refer to him as a conventional guru. So how does that principle apply in this circumstance?
How does it? Yeah, so even though Śrīmad himself may not be elevated, but we can see Bali Maharaj, who is accepting him as a guru, that relationship of surrendering to the guru is there. So, yes, in one sense, Śrīmad is not elevated, but again, he is a Brahmana, and he had that power of a Brahmana, because he could revive when everyone was killed on the battlefield. He could revive everyone. He could bring them to life. Bali Maharaj was dead in the battlefield. He could bring them. So he is materialistic, but at the same time he is still powerful Brahmana. He had Brahma Tejas, or what is it called? There's another word for Brahma Tejas. What is it? The Brahmanas have got this power. So we can understand this, that his devotion, Bali Maharaj's devotion towards his guru is still pure. And at the same time he understands that he understands the position of his guru in relationship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when Vamanadev comes, as it is mentioned in this purport, when Vamanadev comes and asks him to do something, and Śrīmad asks him not to do it, he understands, no, I have to listen to Supreme, and he rejects his guru at that point. So when we see this in devotee like Bali Maharaj, who understands the relationship, but at the same time he is surrendered to his guru, Śrīmad. So that relationship, we can say, yes, is pure.
The Śrīmad was a materialistic person.
Yeah.
And what I get from this verse here is that Brihaspati is just trying to pacify Indra. Because if he told him that in the next Manvantar that Bali Maharaj would wind up with his throne, Indra's mind would have just flipped out. So he's just trying to pacify him so he can go ahead with his business. But Śrīmad, he may be a Brahmana, but he's a material Brahmana.
Yes.
He's got very, he's not. I mean, he's a devotee of sorts, but he's very materialistic. So it just seems like, like a conventional, you can disobey a conventional guru without it being an offense.
True.
But to disobey like in the Dasa, Nama Aparada mentions one of the offences is Guru Avagya, to disobey the instructions of the spiritual master. This is referring to a Vaishnava, not to a materialistic devotee.
Yes. No, that's true. So we have to respect our spiritual master with awe and reverence, and give him same respect.
But not if they're instructing you against the principles of bhakti.
Of course. But here at this point, Śrīmad is not going and instructing Bali Maharaj against the principles of bhakti. But yes, when he performs the yajna, he's engaging Bali Maharaj in performing Ashwamedha yajna, and it will come here, like he's engaging him in performing all the yajnas, which are to please the Supreme Lord. So until this point, Śrīmad's relationship with Bali Maharaj is still of a guru and disciple, and he's completely surrendered onto.
But
yes,
what's the point of his relationship? He's thinking, at the end of this yajna, Bali Maharaj is going to give me.
Yes, he has got personal motives at this point.
That's right. So because he's got this motive that yes, I will guide him, etc., because he's going to give me a donation.
Right.
As soon as the donation is threatened, his real nature comes out.
Yes.
So it's just an interesting story.
Yeah. It's a interesting point where one should surrender onto a spiritual master, but at the same time not to a materialistic spiritual master who is not a Vaishnava, who is not a pure devotee, or who is not who has got personal motives, he's not thinking about the motive of his disciple. So it's an interesting point.
But it's kind of, excuse me, it's interesting also, like if you look at many of these verses glorifying gurus in the scriptures, mostly they're not referring to pure devotees. They're referring to things like dance teachers, and Bala Maharaj makes this point in one of the seminars he does, that often these points glorifying the guru is not talking about someone who's guiding you on the path of bhakti. So
True.
Those get confusing.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhu, could you please tell me what is the takeaway from today's reading of Bhagavatam?
Yeah. So today's one point that we can see, as Prabhu also mentioned, the Guru Nishtha has to be there. One has to accept a Guru, surrender onto a Guru who is in line in the parampara, who can take us. And as we see here, there are two devotees mentioned. One is Bali Maharaj and one is Indra. Both of them are surrendering or taking guidance from their Guru. So Indra is taking guidance from Brihaspati and retreating from a fight. Śrīmad is guiding Bali Maharaj and he is taking guidance. But as it is mentioned, at one point he rejects his Guru. So one has to surrender onto a Guru who is taking us, he is going to give us, he is going to make us advance in the path of bhakti. So this is what we have to take from this pastime. So we have to accept a Guru who is in line in parampara and surrender onto him. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena seveya upedakshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattva darshina. So accept a Guru who is a bona fide Guru, surrender onto him, serve him, and then he will give us the bhakti. So this is what is the takeaway from this. Thank you. Okay, we'll stop here. Granth Raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki